then once you finish.
You can start.
Welcome to our press conference, Communities Rising. Yes, communities are rising today against the inequitable and unjust world that we are right now in, made vulnerable and worse because of the brutally inequitable and unjust climate world that we are in at present. And so communities are raising their voice, they are resisting, they are fighting back. They have their stories from the ground. And so here we are as Global Forest Coalition, which is a coalition of 129 groups in 78 countries. And some of our members from Latin America, Africa, and Asia Pacific are here to narrate their stories of resistance, their stories of struggle, their stories of fighting back, what they're facing today. So our first speaker from Latin America is Eduardo from Colectivo VientoSur. Eduardo, over to you.
Many thanks, Souparna. Yes, I am from Chile. I am from the Colectivo VientoSur. I am also the current coordinator of DCJ for Latin America and the Caribbean. But before and now, I am speaking for VientoSur. It's a grassroots organization in Chile that work in different territories of our country in different issues with social, environmental, and climate justice approach, and very linked with the territories and communities where we are involved. In particular, we are very linked to Mapuche communities in the southern Chile. It's a very strong and with a very strong history of fights against colonialism. They resisted for 200 years the colonialism, and their territories were not part of Chile, in fact, for 200 years. And they finally negotiated with the Chilean state for that the Chilean state submitted the Mapuche people, not the Spain monarchy. But coming to now, to these years, to these decades, they have fighted the Mapuche people very, very strong and against extractivism, including energy, big plants of some decades ago, big dams in different territories, then more little and medium scale hydroelectric. Yeah, also for extracting the energy not to local use but to put it in the national grid for more extractivism. Now they are also fighting against large wind farms, for example, that are, for our view, also false solutions. When this energy is source, this source is for extractivism and controlled by corporations. But the main extractivism that is historically and now affecting Mapuche people are the Chilean forest model. That is a very linked chain of false solutions also, that start with 3 million hectares of plantations, of tree plantations, of exotic tree plantations, pines and eucalyptus mainly, and then the chain continue with the cellulose plants, with also very huge impacts in the territories, and also the biomass plants. And we, in fact, actually, as VientoSur, are now coordinating the subgroup of biomass. That is a program, it's a campaign led by EPN, Environmental Paper Network, and Global Forest Coalition. And we are coordinating this subgroup in Latin America and the Caribbean. And all this chain of the Chilean forest model ends with the carbon markets and the policies of these companies about carbon neutral and net zero. What are we doing with communities is trying to have a multi-level work from the territories with communities to resist this model and to promote the way of life, could be that historically is the way of life of Mapuche people, very harmonic with nature, and also we are organized and articulated at the national level, at the regional level, into our country, where the forest model is more intense. There is a network to superación in Spanish is overcoming, maybe to overcoming the forest model with many other organizations in these territories, and also we are organized at the regional Latin American level and international between the GFC, yeah? And also at a more global issue, we are articulated in DCJ, in the global campaign to demand climate justice. Sorry.
No, thank you, Eduardo. He was actually referring that time is so less to the huge expansion of plantations linked to the bioenergy, burning of biomass in Chile. And so he was referring that Colectivo VientoSur is really working against that in Chile and in linking up to the other Latin American countries. And fortunately, and for us, the lead of the Global Biomass Working Group, who he was referring to, Peg, is here with us. Peg is already here. Thanks, Peg, for being to this press conference. So our next speaker will be Diel Mochire, a very interesting person coming from Democratic Republic of Congo, leading his own tribe, the indigenous people, against mining. The area that the indigenous people, which Diel struggles with, is ravaged by mining. And so they are fighting back. Its forests are razed, deforested, communities are evicted. So Diel, over to you.
Bonsoir à tout le monde. Mon anglais n'est pas bon, alors je préfère parler en français pour se faire bien entendre. Désolé pour ceux qui ne comprennent pas le français, mais c'est l'un des langues de l'ONU. Je suis M. Diel Mochire. Je viens de la République démocratique du Congo. Je suis de la communauté autochtone pygmée, communément appelée Bambouti. Nous travaillons beaucoup plus dans les zones sur nos territoires de vie où il y a plusieurs menaces en lien avec l'exploitation minière qui a plusieurs conséquences sur notre vie. Et cela, je vais donner le cas, par exemple, du territoire de WALHI, en province du Nord Kivu. C'est un géologique minier et que plusieurs acteurs veulent à ce qu'ils puissent y extraire des minéraux. Cette exploitation fait qu'à ce que nous puissions être victimes des accaparements de nos terres. On est expulsé de nos terres sans notre consentement libre et préalable informé. On n'a pas accès aux revenus ici de ces exploitations. Notre santé est en détérioration parce que tout ce que nous faisons vient de la forêt. Il y a la perte de la biodiversité parce qu'il y a coupe de bois, tous les écosystèmes sont endommagés et pour nous c'est une conséquence très grave et ça affecte notre vie et je dirais que c'est une menace à notre disparition. Mais qu'à cela ne tienne, on essaie quand même de travailler pour essayer de mettre en relief certaines activités pour booster ces effets. Et en premier lieu, on est en dialogue avec le gouvernement. Et ce dialogue nous a permis d'avoir une loi de reconnaissance des peuples autochtones. C'est la deuxième après la République du Congo, en plus de la République centrafricaine qui a ratifié la Convention 169. Donc, jusque-là, pour nous, c'est un acquis. Donc, nous avons déjà la possibilité de demander notre clip sur les terres dont nous occupons. Deuxième chose, nous sommes en train de militer pour que nos droits soient reconnus dans les différentes réformes foncières, l'aménagement du territoire, la politique agricole, la politique minière, et ainsi de suite. Pour nous, c'est quelque chose. Mais on s'est dit que les femmes font face particulièrement à des défis parce qu'il y a la pollution de l'eau. Il y a des infections, on prend de l'eau non traitée et cela est dû à ces exploitations. Voilà les défis auxquels on est en train de faire face et ce que nous faisons pour faire face à ces défis en termes de mitigation. Je vous remercie.
Thank you, Diel. We strongly stand for language justice, but for the sake of time, if we manage to get in, Kwame will summarize the French thing. So I'll move on to Uli from WALHI, Indonesia. Uli, please.
Thank you, Souparna. Okay. The Indonesian government claims that deforestation in Indonesia is decreasing. However, this decline is not due to the government's strong effort, but because forests in Sumatra and Kalimantan have been depleted due to the issues of permits for forestry, palm oil plantation, and mining. However, if we look at it partially by region, several regions such as Molucas, Sulawesi, Papua have been experienced an increase in deforestation because Maluku and Sulawesi are due to nickel exploitation, while Papua is due to the palm oil plantation and forestry permit. The Indonesian government has responded to the current crisis situation by building a carbon market mechanism. The carbon market is under the Indonesian's carbon market stock exchange. With this, the carbon trading mechanism has become mandatory in Indonesia. There are already several in Indonesia. There are already several carbon project operating in Indonesia. For example, the Katingan-Mentayan Carbon Project in Central Kalimantan, which is currently in conflict with indigenous community. Not only that, in area where this project takes place, deforestation and forest and land fires are still occurring. Shell, as a giant emitter, is one of the buyers of carbon market for this project. Apart from that, carbon projects have also been operating in Papua, Molucas, Sumatra, and Kalimantan. Apart from responding to the crisis situation with carbon trading, in the energy context, in Indonesian government, it's also building energy plantation forests for biomassa. Trend Asia data state that 2.3 million hectares of energy plantation forest is needed to fulfill 10% co-firing in 107 coal power plant unit and has the potential to cause deforestation, a minimum of 613,000 hectares to a maximum of 2.1 million hectares. In Papua, the construction of the energy plantation forest by Medco took away the consumer land belonging to the marine indigenous community. All the stories above are form of crisis trading carried out by investor with the support of policies issued by the government. Investors know that a crisis is happening today, but they see that our profit to be gained from the crisis. This is what we call climate crisis incorporate. Thank you.
Thank you, Willie. Our last speaker is Fatai Aina from Benin. Fatai, just try to be short. Thank you.
Okay. Merci, Souparna. Je salue tout le monde. Comme l'a évoqué tout à l'heure Diel, j'ai aussi une petite difficulté de m'exprimer en anglais, donc je préfère aller en français. Ok, merci. Ok, bon. Ok. Alors, comme vous le constatez déjà, bon, et l'Afrique en général, bon, je viens d'abord d'une organisation qu'on appelle AMIN de l'Afrique francophone, Benin, AMAF Benin, et dont je suis le directeur exécutif. Et nous travaillons beaucoup avec les communautés forestières dans les zones rurales du Bénin. Et comme vous le constatez déjà, l'Afrique en général a le même problème en matière de conservation des ressources forestières. Au Bénin, par exemple, avec les communautés rurales avec lesquelles nous travaillons, il est enregistré, il est de plus en plus constaté que ces communautés sont confrontées à une situation ou à une crise de pauvreté, de vulnérabilité sociale, économique, et environnementale et climatique. Et puis, cette crise est surtout due à la dégradation des ressources naturelles, notamment les forêts et les terres, qui sont aujourd'hui en constante dégradation, et aussi des solutions inadéquates qui sont apportées en matière de restauration de ces ressources, telles que des systèmes de monoculture en matière de plantation d'arbres et en matière de production agricole, qui sont généralement axés sur la production de coton. Alors, face à cette situation, alors, on constate forcément que les ressources forestières sont dégradées avec une forte dégradation de la biodiversité, ainsi que la rareté des produits forestiers non ligneux, la baisse du rendement agricole, d'ailleurs, et qui constitue d'ailleurs de principales sources de revenus pour les communautés et de principaux moyens de subsistance pour les communautés locales, en particulier les femmes. Aujourd'hui, et face à toute cette situation, il faut reconnaître que les communautés en général et les femmes en particulier n'ont pas de moyens de riposte pour inverser cette tendance, et la pauvreté gagne de plus en plus de la place, ainsi que la vulnérabilité. Alors, ok. En dehors de tout ça, il faut également évoquer que l'accès à la terre constitue d'ailleurs un problème déjà pour les femmes rurales. Donc, je préfère m'en arrêter là. Je vous remercie.
Thank you, Fatai. Kwame, can we do a summary in 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
Yeah.
For both.
if you want.
Okay, quickly for Diel, my name is Diel. I'm from DRC. I work with indigenous people, and our work with communities where we work with there are consequences of mining. The mineral mining lead to land grabbing, eviction without compensation. All that we do come from forest. Mining destroyed our forests and has huge impact on our livelihood. So we are in dialogue with our government. We demand our government to recognize our land title. Women were mostly impacted, so we also ask government to have a better condition for women. Thank you. Regarding Fatai is from Benin. So in Benin, forest communities, particularly women, are facing poverty, social, economic, environmental, and climate crisis. And this crisis is due to degradation of natural resources, notably forests and land, as well as the forced solutions suggested therein, such as monoculture system in terms of large-scale tree plantations, particularly focus on cotton. Thus, it leads to the decline and or scarcity of non-timber forest production and the decline in family-type agriculture, which constitute the livelihoods and sources of income for local communities. It also leads to erosion of biodiversity, flooding, and reduce the capacity of forests to sequestrate carbon, thus accentuating environmental degradation and climate risk. Thank you.
Thank you, Kwame. We're on time. So, friends, on this occasion, we want to also publish a recent publication that we are launching today, and that is dedicated to the communities who are impacted by carbon market, the carbon offsets, and also fighting them back. And so on this occasion, we want to Thank you all. Thank you, panelists. Yeah, those of us who want to get the thing done, you can scan the QR code there.